I'm Cristy Code Red. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about how to stop self-sabotaging with food. I'm Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and I created a nutrition program that enables people to lose 10% of their body weight every month without shakes, pills, diet foods, or exercise. I've been in this industry a very long time, since 1994. I've seen everything come and go, so I know what works and I know what doesn't. In this video, we'll go over why you self-sabotage with food. Next, we'll cover my own experience with self-sabotaging behavior. And last, I'll tell you how to stop this behavior once and for all. I wish it wasn't true, but it is. This is one of the most Googled subjects. In all my years of doing this, and at the time of this recording, we've had 44,363 people come through my program. I've noticed that this is the biggest problem that people deal with, that and getting enough sleep. Self-sabotaging behavior is running rampant in my community anyway, and I'm sure it's something that you're dealing with, especially if you're watching this video. Don't worry, there's no shame here. There's no judgment here. We've all been there. We've all been in this situation. And the reason I can talk about it with some authority is because I've been through this not only with myself, but tons of times with my clients. So I really want to release you of that guilt and shame that you might be feeling about you battling with this. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We get it. I get it. And let's talk about the honest truth of what could be happening with you and how to get through it. One reason that people self-sabotage is due to a lack of self-esteem, unworthiness, self-hatred, self-loathing, feeling like you don't deserve something. That's not everybody. It's not everybody that deals with this, but some people do. I can tell you that my problem is not self-esteem. I have plenty of self-esteem for everybody. I don't lack self-esteem, but I still self-sabotage. Some people deal with having a lack of self-esteem, and that could have come from your childhood. It could have come from an abusive spouse. There's a lot of reasons why people have low self-esteem. But when you don't feel like you deserve to be healthy, when you don't think you're worthy of a size 4, size 6, size 8, you don't think that you deserve to be at goal weight and to feel really good, you could possibly find yourself sabotaging with food. Another reason could be past victimization. We have found that some people that were victimized as kids, molested, raped, incest, things like that, they would self-sabotage with food as adults to keep themselves from getting too thin and being desirable. They found that if they self-sabotage with food, that would unconsciously keep them from getting big, because the smaller they got, possibly that would make them more attractive to the opposite sex and bring on another case of victimization. I would definitely suggest, if this is you, that you seek counseling, that you seek help for this. My dad, Larry Terhurst, is an LCPC, and although he does not work anymore, he does not counsel anymore, I can tell you that most of the patients that came to him were patients that had been victimized in the past, and this definitely feeds into our eating behaviors. All right, this next one you might relate to. People self-sabotage as a reward. I do that. Yes, I do. So what people do is they reach a certain weight that is either a goal weight or a milestone or something that they've been trying to reach, and they say, I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself X because I've done such a great job and I have earned this. So here's an example. Let's say you're walking in a bakery and you're at the front of the bakery and there's this long glass cabinet full of desserts, Danish, cookies, muffins, all kinds of things. This pastries and things like that. Well, as you walk past that long glass case, you turn down this one and this one and this one and that one. You turn down that one, that one, that one. You get all the way to the register. You say, look at me. I am so good. I turned down all those pastries. I'm going to reward myself with that pastry right there. And we do it. That's why companies always place their best, most expensive products at the end, because your willpower weighs down. Your decision-making ability gets taken up as you go throughout your day and as you go throughout a process. And by the time you get to the end of that process, like walking down the case of pastries, you are going to reward yourself and you're going to give yourself a Danish. And this is how the human brain works. We function so much on a reward system. And that's why willpower wears out. I mean, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh my gosh, I'm having such a hankering for French toast. Your willpower is always stronger in the mornings. You always feel fine. Like you go throughout your day and you eat clean all throughout your day. And what happens? Say it with me. You self-sabotage at night, because that's when you are the weakest. That's when things fall apart. That's when you can't seem to keep it together. You've already used up all your willpower. You've already used up all your decision making. You're done. You're tired. You're worn out. Your brain can't take it anymore and you give in. You go face down in a bowl of Fruit Loops. It always happens at night. Before I go to my next point, are you feeling brave? Because I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me how you have dealt with self-sabotage. Are you going through this? Has this been a problem for you in the past? Comment below. Tell me your story. I want to read it. I read all your comments, and you always know that I reply back to you. So comment below. Let me know what's going on with you. A lot of people who deal with self-sabotage, they say, I'll start over in the morning. And I do this too. Well, I'll just start over tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Tonight, I binge. Tonight, we celebrate. Tonight, anything goes. And they make themselves these promises like, I'll start over in the morning. I'll do better tomorrow. I'll make sure that I don't eat tomorrow. They punish themselves by restricting food the next day, or at least they tell themselves that's what they're going to do. And they give themselves permission to go and eat all the Girl Scout cookies. They say, it doesn't matter. I'll start over in the morning. Tomorrow's a new day. Everything resets. And that's a real problem. So for me, it's 100% reward driven. I do this, or I've dealt with this in the past, and once in a while it creeps back on me. I remember when I was working with Chris Gethin and I was getting really, really lean for that photo shoot. I ended up losing, I think, 15 pounds, and I got down even lower than goal weight. I got really lean. You could see all my muscles and everything. But as soon as I got down to that weight, I immediately rewarded myself with this food, and it's self-sabotage is what it was. And there is some science and data and some research to suggest that people are addicted to that number going down. When they see the number going down, what does it do? It gives you a dopamine hit. And so when you get to goal weight, the number's not going down anymore. So you unconsciously self-sabotage to get that number to go up, so you can begin the downward process again. I don't know, not my zone of genius, but I think there's probably some validity to it. It could be happening with you. Self-sabotage is a form of emotional eating. And we recognize this in the Code Red community. We recognized it early on when I formed Code Red the way that you know it. I knew we needed to address this. In fact, the second half of the challenge is talking about emotional eating and mentality around losing weight. We really hit on this hard because we know a lot of people battle with this. But we created a course called What's Eating You? And I mentioned my dad, Larry. He is an LCPC and has years of counseling under his belt. Plus, he was a cop, he was a coroner, he was a pastor, he was a lot of things. And he comes to the table with a whole host of experience. And he created What's Eating You? And this is a course to help you with emotional eating. And I didn't know I was an emotional eater. And when he completed the course, I was watching it to make sure that it was okay to sell to my community. And I learned so much about myself. And when you're talking about combating self-sabotaging behavior, there are some things you need to know. You need to know your triggers. You need to know what causes you to do this. You need to know what is going to ignite those self-sabotaging behaviors so you can become aware, you can put safeguards in place and stop it. But these are things that I learned from watching What's Eating You for taking that course. It's an incredible, incredible course. I will say that do not binge take the course. Don't go back to back with all 5 videos. You don't want to do that because it's a lot and there's homework involved. You want to take it slow. You want to really let it sink in because this is a real serious problem. It's probably a serious problem with you. You might not admit it or you might not talk about it too much, but this is a real serious problem in our community. So take time to learn and take time to figure out how to change this self-sabotaging behavior. It's a real problem. And I don't want to see you go around this mountain again. During the 10-pound takedown challenge, we understand that this is a huge problem for people. So we spend a lot of the challenge talking about mindset. Mindset is huge. It's not the whole picture. People say, oh, losing weight is 100% mental. No, it's not. No, it's not. You got to have a plan. You got to have accountability. And yes, you have to have mindset teaching. And I notice a lot of weight loss programs, they don't have mindset teaching. You know, the weight loss like Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers and the different companies where they deliver food to your door or you work out, gyms, they don't address the mindset. And that is what you can get and so much more on the 10-pound takedown challenge. I'll link it up. Click the link, join the next rolling challenge, and I'll see you on the next video.